Hello, my name is Lenny Vermoss, and my contact information as well as a website is listed. This is a three-act called Airplane Flight. A little information about three acts. Three acts was an idea that Dan Meyer has promoted and has lots of resources and other examples of three acts. And his information is on the screen. As well as his blog where you can look at some of the things that he's done. And I have some links on my website as well. Act one of three acts is the place where you are presented with a picture and you want to think of a question that goes with that picture. It could also be a video. In this case, I want you to look at the picture and see if you can come up with a question. When you come up with that question, I want you to find a high and low estimate for the solution to that question, and then think about what other information that's needed. You might recognize this as a flight board at an airport, and you can see lots of flights these are all departures, and they're coming from Denver International Airport. And I took this picture while I was on a vacation. And you'll notice that here's an arrival, and it doesn't say on here, but this is arrival at the Omaha Eppley Airport. Okay? So from Denver to Omaha. What I'd like you to do is to stop the video and find a question that comes to mind, and then give a high and low estimate for that question, and then think about what other information you might need. Act two is where you develop the question and find some other information that's necessary. So in this case, we're going to look at going from Denver International Airport to Omaha Eppley Airfield, and you could just think about the time that it takes, which requires a little bit of work, but the question that I would pose is, that I've always been curious about, is how fast does a commercial airplane fly? Okay? So going from Denver International Airport to Eppley Airfield in Omaha, Nebraska, right? So what I'd like you to do is to stop the video. Think about what other information is needed. There's some information that's not provided that you're going to have to go to another source. And then do a calculation and see what you can come up with for a solution to the question of how fast a airplane would fly. Act three is where you get the answer to the question. I suppose you could ask a pilot, and a pilot would have a good idea, or maybe if you know an air traffic controller. What I did, what many people do, is I went to Google and I just Googled how fast does a commercial airplane fly. And I found that the speed of the airplane depends, it's from 500 to 600 miles per hour, depends on wind and altitude and a lot of other conditions. From Google, and being a math teacher, I think that we're looking at maybe a distance and rate time problem. But Google, the driving distance is 541 miles to 552 as a car goes. Right now, is a distance less through the air. We left Denver at 10:30 and arrived at Omaha at 12:48. We have an hour time difference, so it's 1 hour and 18 minutes of driving. 550 miles divided by 1.3 hours is 423 miles per hour, which is a little bit below the range that they had calculated, but some adjustments that you might have made is the time to taxi to and from the runway. Is the time to the place accurate? And the time to gain height as you're going to accelerate. So if you would stop the video and look at your estimate and see how close it was, and then maybe take into consideration some of those changes that you would make in your calculations to get closer to an answer. Okay? The next step would be a sequel, and that would be other questions to ponder. Not for this particular one, I really couldn't think of any other questions to ponder. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this question and problem.